really believe that the subscriber base in this group is the best on MMA YouTube. So one of you guys who understands the space and really understands the UFC game in general, make this make sense for me. I don't understand. I genuinely don't. That's why I'm back to entertaining crazy conspiracy theories, because I'm like, that's where you land on conspiracy theories, is where something doesn't make sense, right? That's how you end up on a conspiracy theory, is you're like, well, I mean, I have enough experience watching things to know that this is what normal behavior is. And if there's something that's wildly out of character, that makes no sense, when you have a year's worth of sample, years of sample size, and all of a sudden you have some massive behavior change after some kind of incident, you got to be like, all right, well, what is that about? All right, we got serious business to talk about. It has to do with Colby Covington, because Colby Covington has stepped in as the replacement for this fight in the UK. He's on weight. He came out of nowhere. He's in England. I actually saw a post on Reddit that said that Kamaru Usman is out with an injury. And I just want to make sure that you guys see this, that I'm not making this up. Listen, I have no ability to verify whether this is true or not. But if you go on the UFC Reddit thread, there is that post. And I try to text people. No one's texting me back. So this is obviously not a reliable source, but that is floating around. Here's the thing though. That's not even what's most interesting about this, right? So Kamaru had no idea that Colby was going to be the backup. Leon Edwards had no idea that Colby's going to be the backup. When do they ever do that? If you have a big, high-profile backup fighter, you always know, right? They always know. Everybody always knows. It's a huge deal. That's part of the thing. Like when Dustin and when Gaethje and Khabib were going to fight, Chandler was the backup, and everyone knew, right? Like a big high profile fighter like Colby doesn't just show up at weigh-ins. So what I'm saying is there is something going on behind the scenes with Colby that we don't understand. I don't understand. I obviously will do what I do on this video, and I'm going to speculate a little bit, but this is weird. Okay? This is weird. Colby is an incredibly high-profile fighter. He has always been an incredibly high-profile fighter from the moment he grabbed the mic. He called the Brazilians dirty animals and filthy animals, and that has never changed. He's always been public. Like, he's done a few ad spots on Instagram recently, but they're just ads. He has done zero media since George and his incident at the steakhouse. None. He did a very public interview with the Nelk Boys right before, but he's done none since. Not one. Okay? And I don't think that that's coincidence. And so there was always speculation that the reason he's not fighting is related to his lawsuit. Well, that's obviously not true. That's not true. Because if Kamaru is injured, I mean, I'm not saying that he is or anything, but like if Leon Edwards, if something happened tonight and one of these guys is injured, Colby's fighting, okay? So clearly him fighting is unaffected by this thing that's going on with George. Not affected at all. He's ready to go. And I imagine he'll have a fight coming up very soon. So what is going on? Seriously, what is going on? Why is he so quiet? He hasn't said a single thing to anyone. Nothing. You haven't seen Colby at all. Not even a little bit. Why? Okay, so we'll talk about that. Now, before we do, on this channel, what we do, the agreement is you subscribe if you're going to watch my content. I'm looking you straight in the eye and telling you that's the price. I appreciate you guys living up to your end, okay? Candy at the front of the store. If you take the candy, you leave a quarter. It's on the honor system. If you take the candy and you don't leave a quarter, you are not a cool person. But also, this community is awesome, dude. Look in the comments and look at the quality of comments. You want to be a part of it. And also, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Sheath Underwear. I'm wearing them now. I just bought Jordans for the winner of last month's contest. So go ahead and check out Sheath Underwear. They've got I'm sure you guys know Sheath Underwear. I just want to plug them in your ear again because they are the best. Bobby the Bank, who owns Sheath, is my dude. He is boys with everybody. Anybody who's cool is friends with Bobby the Bank, and Bobby the Bank owns Sheath, and I wear Sheath every single day, and I buy Jordans for people once a month. And just like this month, if you buy a pair of Sheath underwear and you send me the receipt using promo code Jesse, using promo code FIRE, go to sheathunderwear.com and use promo code FIRE, and then you send the receipt to me when you buy them. I will enter you into this month's Jordan's drawing, and we'll go from there. All right, so Colby Covington is back. So, again, if you go through the timeline, Colby Covington fights against George. Colby, everything's normal, right? Everything's normal. And then we have fight week between George and Colby. And as everybody knows who's been watching my channel for a long time, the big conversation between all of us at that time was, is their beef real? And so we're watching them interact with each other, and we're like, does this seem real? And, I would say the interaction that they had where we were most on the side of, come on, was the one where George, they're on the video one. And George's like, your teeth are fake news. Your teeth are fake news. Your teeth are fake news. So George pointed out that Colby has fake teeth, right? And your teeth are fake news. And it just didn't look very real. And then during the week when it was leading up and they were all into, the face-offs and all that, then it was like, I don't know. I mean, listen, that's all I'm saying is that was what the main topic was, but for us, right? Like that was like for all of us, that was the topic that we were talking about on here. A lot of you guys, believed that it was real, and some of us thought it wasn't. So after the fight, when George attacked Colby at the steakhouse, all of us that were on the side of it can't be real were like, what? And we were all scratching our head like, how is this even? I can't believe it. At least me. I was like, because I was completely convinced that it was fake. 100% convinced. And so that was a very shocking story. And I still struggled with it. And, again, like I will totally acknowledge it's just probably wishful thinking because I just really, really liked that they were best friends. And I watched documentaries of them together when they were friends. I'm like, dude, these guys are like as close as you can possibly get. I just can't I don't know. I'm kind of like, I'm more like Lex Friedman than I think people would give me credit for, Like Lex Friedman is always like, look at get back together, you guys. Like anybody who knows me, like behind the scenes can testify that, Schaub and Mark, this thing between Mark Forbes Handley and Schaub. You want to know what my situation this is? I talked to both of them. I literally am like, dude, you guys should just talk to each other and be friends. And like, when you really think about what's happened, it's like, that's obviously not going to happen. But like, I don't know. I don't like when friends, like people who are genuinely close, go into these like conflicts. I don't like it, man. I will do anything to avoid that with my friends. I mean, it would never happen, but like, unless someone just outright betrayed me, I'll do anything to avoid that. I don't like it, dude. And so, but a lot of it has to do with my wiring and also that I'm fans of both guys. I don't like thinking about them having to hate their best friend. So I still struggle with it where I'm like, I don't know, man. It doesn't feel right to me that it just doesn't seem real, even with all of this stuff. So, admitting that I realize there's an arrest video, there's an interrogation, there's like every single piece of evidence that you would expect to be a part of this thing. Like it's not logical at all for me to even entertain that it's not real, right? I understand that. Like you could even just call me straight up delusional, that I still would even entertain that it might not be real. I do have one piece of information that you guys do not have, but nonetheless, it doesn't prove it by any means. But there is a reason why this would have happened that you guys are not aware of. But it's nonetheless, it doesn't matter. Bottom line is this. When I see Colby go completely dark, I'm like, why? Why? You know what I mean? Why? And I default to one of two options, right? So if the thing is fake, and like I said, you guys don't need to break my balls about it. I realize it's delusional. I'm just saying, like, I can't help myself. I just can't. But like, let's say it was fake. He doesn't want to do press because he doesn't want to lie. Like, he doesn't want people to ask him about it, which they know that he will, and he has to sit there and lie to people's faces. Colby doesn't strike me as a guy who likes to lie. Like, playing a character is one thing. Directly lying about an ongoing, like the big thing like this, I would imagine is probably like against his good, his nature. So that's what would it be as fake. If it's real, then maybe he just doesn't want to talk about it at all because of a pending court case, which is, ongoing. But he obviously can just tell anyone that he's doing an interview with, like, don't ask me about that incident. You know what I mean? Like, he could just do that. Like, there's no logical reason for him to go dark that makes any sense to me. That's why I'm back to like, wait, really? Like, is there a possibility that he's just trying to avoid talking about this or whatever? And I'm not trying to reignite any kind of arguments that I had with people back then, because I'm telling you, I realize it's delusional for me to even entertain it still. But I can't make heads or tails of why a person who has absolutely sought out the attention of the media through forever would all of a sudden just switch up because of a thing where he got like punched in the face by his former best friend when he's a fighter, and then he just go completely dark, right? Why? I don't understand. He looked ready too, dude. I'm going to be honest with you. When he stepped on that scale out of nowhere, right? Just boom. And I looked at his face. I was like, whoa, he's ready to go, dude. He looked good. He looked ready. I'm going to be straight, man. I wish he was fighting tomorrow. I do. I'm really excited for this fight. It's not like I'm like, oh, I wish he was replacing this guy or this guy. But man, Colby gets me fired up, dude. He really does, dude. Colby gets me really fired up. Just because of the circumstances that he puts himself in when he fights. Do you know what I mean? Like, he puts himself in an environment where people hate him, and he does it on purpose. He walks into a hostile environment every time that he fights, and he knows it. And I have so much respect for a person who will put that kind of pressure on themselves. You know? I mean, obviously, you could certainly say that, like, there's more pressure when everyone wants you to win, but at least you've got the people behind you. You don't have a bunch of people yelling at you and all that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just respect Colby a lot in terms of his ability to perform under pressure. The guy is made out of granite, dude. He is a tough ass dude. And when he got on the scale, I was like, I wish he was banging tomorrow. I really do. But anyway, where the hell is he, dude? What has he been doing? What is going on? Why is he so dark? Like, what's he been doing? So seriously, think about this, dude. Think about this, dude. Think about this. Colby Covington, he's on a fight team. We all know this. He's on a fight team. He had a camp. He's been in camp this whole time, and no one said a word about it. No one said a single word about the fact that Colby Covington is in camp right now. Like, make this make sense for me. Seriously. Make someone, I mean, like, I always say join the best community in the MMA space. And I mean that. I really believe that that's what we have here. I really believe that the subscriber base in this group is the best, like per capita on MMA YouTube. So one of you guys who understands the space and really understands the UFC game in general, make this make sense for me. I don't understand. I genuinely don't. That's why I'm back to entertaining crazy conspiracy theories, because I'm like, what I mean, that's where you land, that's where you land on conspiracy theories, is where something doesn't make sense. Right? That's how you end up on a conspiracy theory. Is you're like, well, I mean, I have enough experience watching things to know that this is what normal behavior is. And if there's something that's wildly out of character, that makes no sense, when you have a year's worth of years of sample size, and all of a sudden you have some massive behavior change after some kind of incident, you got to be like, all right, well, what is that about? How does that benefit him? It doesn't at all, as far as I can tell. The only reason people do anything is because it benefits them. And so if there's no way to connect the dot where this benefits, make it make sense for me. Why? Why has he gone dark, dude? Someone that's smarter than me, put it in the comments. Because again, I have no evidence whatsoever that the beef is fake. I'm throwing gum at the wall to see if it'll fit, stick. It's like, I don't know, maybe the beef is fake. I don't know. Someone make it make sense, please. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what else to say other than I'm really excited to see Colby's back. And I would love to see him fight. And let's do this thing. That's what I got. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends. Peace.